right, so I am pulling up the episode. We are on episode 5. All right, does anybody have a Bible?
I do.
I do. Yay.
All right. So the first one is Luke chapter 8, verses 1 through 3.
You can
I'll
come
do
back and
that.
get a new connection.
I got it.
Oh, okay.
And the next one is Acts chapter 23, verses 6 through 8.
I'll do that.
All right. And then we have Matthew chapter 5, verse 38 to 42.
We'll take Matthew.
Go ahead, Pete, go ahead.
Yeah, we'll take Matthew.
All right. And then there is Luke chapter 10, verse 38 to 42.
We'll do that.
That was the same as Matthew.
Luke 20.
Yeah, actually, that's what it says. It says Luke as well. Interesting. Well, I guess we're about to find out.
Okay.
What was that? What was that Matthew again?
The first one was Matthew chapter 5, verses 38 to 42.
Okay, thank you. That's right.
Luke 10:38.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, there's one more Matthew.
Okay.
And it's Matthew 20, verses 1 through 16. And I am now going to try to track down where I have these videos, because that might be important too.
Did anyone take the Matthew 16 one, or should I grab that?
We saw you raise your hand, Marcia. We're thinking you're doing it.
Christine, did you get one?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so Christine Hammaker, would you read yours?
It was Luke 1 through 3? Or
Yep.
Luke 8? Yeah, okay.
Luke 8.
8, 1 through 3. I'm sorry.
Okay. Hold on. I had
Luke
both.
1 to 3, we're going to hear a genealogy or something important.
Yeah, okay. Luke 8, verses 1 through 3. Now it came to pass afterward that he went through every city and village, preaching and bringing the glad tidings of the kingdom of God. And the 12 were with him, and certain women who had been healed of evil spirits and infirmities. Mary called Magdalene, out of whom had come 7 demons, and Joanna, the wife of Chuza, Herod's steward, and Susanna, and many others who provided for him from their substance.
Okay,
They were paying the disciples' way.
interesting. All right. So who had Acts? Was
I
that you,
did.
Christine?
Yes.
Strasser?
Was that 28?
23 verses 6 through 8.
Oh, 23.
Well, we can hear 28 too. It might be a little bit different, but
23, 6 through 8. Okay.
Yep.
When Paul noticed that some were Sadducees and others were Pharisees, he called out in the council, "Brothers, I am a Pharisee, a son of Pharisees. I am on trial concerning the hope of the resurrection of the dead." When he said this, a dissension began between the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and the assembly was divided. The Sadducees say that there is no resurrection, or angel, or spirit, but the Pharisees acknowledge all three.
okay. Well, that'll be interesting. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So who's got the next one?
Matthew.
Yep, that would be the Matthew 5, 38 through 42.
38 through 42, okay. You have heard it said, eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth. But I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If someone strikes you on the right cheek, turn to him the other side. And if someone wants to sue you and take your tunic, let him have your tunic. Let him have your cloak as well. If someone forces you to go 1 mile, go with him 2 miles. Give to the one who asks you, and do not turn away from the one who wants to borrow from you.
Okay. All right. How about Luke chapter 10, 38 to 42?
All right. Now, as they went on their way, he entered a certain village where a woman named Martha welcomed him into her home. She had a sister, Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to what he was saying. But Martha was distracted by her many tasks. So she came to him and asked, Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to do all the work by myself? Tell her to help me. But the Lord answered her, Martha, Martha, you are worried and distracted by many things. There is need only of one thing. Mary has chosen the better part, which will not be taken away from her.
All right. And I think Pastor Marcia has the last one.
Which chapter in Matthew was it? I got 1 through 16, but
Matthew chapter 20.
all righty. The laborers in the vineyard. For the kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire laborers for his vineyard. After agreeing with the laborers for the usual daily wages, he sent them into his vineyard. When he went out about 9 o'clock, he now saw others standing idle in the marketplace. And he said to them, You also go into the vineyard, and I will pay you whatever is right. So they went. When he went out again about noon and about 3 o'clock, he did the same. And about 5 o'clock, he went out and found others standing around. And he said to them, Why are you standing here idle all day? They said to him, Because no one has hired us. He said to them, You also go into the vineyard. When evening came, the owner of the vineyard said to his manager, Call the laborers and give them their pay, beginning with the last and then going to the first. When those hired about 5 o'clock came, each of them received the usual daily wage. Now, when the first came, they thought they would receive more, but each of them also received the usual daily wage. And when they received it, they grumbled against the landowner, saying, These last worked only 1 hour, and you've made them equal to us who have borne the burden of the day and the scorching heat. But he said to one of them, Friend, I am doing you no wrong. Did you not agree with me for the usual daily wage? Take what belongs to you and go. I choose to give to the last the same as I give to you. Am I not allowed to do what I choose with what belongs to me? Or are you envious because I'm generous? So the last will be first, and the first will be last.
All right. Cool. Now we've got a little bit of background, a lot of moving pieces, though. I mean, we're jumping around Mary, Martha, and yeah, should be a good episode. All right, I am going to start it up, and we'll take a look. I may stop it about halfway through, depending on how long it looks like it's going to be.
Good
We
luck.
kind of discussed, what's that?
Good luck.
Yeah, I know.
Doing everything remote. Oh my.
All right, so let me share. Oh no, Judas.
Yeah, Judas started his downhill.
Oh my goodness. Oh
What
my
what
goodness.
do they call it? Like the villain story? Like, oh, I don't know. The kids call it something like the villain backstory.
That's a good way to describe it.
It's beginning for him.
Well, he was already confused and angry. You could tell just like when they were opening that box, and I could already tell, at least it looked to me like he was already confused and angry.
Well, he's got the two different universes that he honors, the new one from Jesus
Yeah,
and the existing one that he's always been a disciple to,
yeah,
of manna, of money, of power. And And he goes back to his guy and he says, dude, you're in an amazing position to take advantage. Even though you believe it, I mean, the guy doesn't get it at all. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's
Well, and his quote friend just justified it so well on an earthly basis, which was very twisted.
Mhm.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know if anybody can hear me. My internet's being so bad, but
you're good.
it really sums up so well the zero sum game that the world plays.
Yeah.
If you're not taking advantage of your situation, then you're the sucker, and somebody else is going to get your share. And it feels like Judas is just starting to glimpse a more eternal, a more abundant way of life. And I feel so badly for him because it feels like he really wants to.
I was waiting for the freeze to catch up to the audio, but
He's right. Judas is weighing it all. He's thinking about this side and that side and trying to figure it out. And he gets froze up,
Well, and they all think it's going to be an earthly kingdom, and they're still having a hard time grappling with the fact that it's not. I thought the conversation between Jesus and his mother
Oh,
was
that was
very illustrative of all the swarming things that were going around. And plus, it could have happened, but I just thought it was a good kind of interim, not only to show their relationship, but also Jesus's frustration. And anyway, I like that part.
Mary was Jesus's mutual ministry person.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
true words, mutual misery.
Yes, it definitely can be both, right?
Usually
so-
more one than the other.
So I had to take the dog outside at a very important moment. So when Mary was washing his hair, was that with the oil?
No,
No,
no.
Oh, okay, sure.
I think she was trying to get the oil out of it.
Oh, did I miss it? Did somebody give him the oil?
No,
No.
no words.
No.
No,
Not yet.
it was just time
Not
to, do the thing.
She just said your hair's nasty. Come, I need to wash your hair.
Got
Okay.
knots in it, just like any
The
mother
nice
does.
don't wash
Okay.
your hair. Yeah.
It's
I
got
was
knots
afraid. I
in
was
it.
afraid I missed the washing of his feet
No,
already.
you
So
no,
okay.
no.
No,
Well,
you
but I
didn't.
It wasn't the
did-
Mary I had
Google
expected.
it. What do you wash your hair in 20, 30 AD?
And he says, "Oh, I didn't think it was so bad," which is such a great line.
Oh, your mama rubbing your head and washing your hair. What could be better?
It was a good,
She
it was a
actually-
good addition.
Yeah, Eric, she actually put two different things on his hair. And I think, first of all, she
Not here.
probably did something to get rid of the scabies or whatever was in his head. And then the other one was that she probably did put some oil on it just because that's how they
Yeah.
fix their hair at the end.
Barbara, do we have a meeting? Excuse us just for a second. Barbara,
It is 7:30. Do you guys have to go?
Oh, only for the Carolina State game.
Tommy, I didn't know you had a red shirt.
Yeah, I was
Well,
gonna
I'd
say,
really-
I was
I
gonna-
You can
really
see it
like
says
that was a-
Hurricanes,
Oh,
and
all
the
right.
truth is, red is not inherently bad.
There was a
Really
good
bad when
blue,
it
a blue
says Wolfpack.
sweatshirt there before.
Yeah, I saw the shirt.
A very good blue sweatshirt.
That's okay. That's all right.
This was the setup for Pete Hauser, and I hope he enjoyed it.
Thank you, yes. Yes.
Seems interesting too.
Totally
that,
different deal. Pete, is still everything starting tomorrow?
For VDC.
VDC.
Right, yeah, we're actually starting 2 hours late.
Cool.
I just got
Right.
a email from Larry Gates that said, instead of meeting at 1 o'clock, we're meeting at 3 o'clock.
Cool. I got 1,000 pounds in the bed of my truck. I think I can make it there to help move stuff
Mhm.
for the outside shot. So
Yeah,
see you tomorrow.
yeah.
I was gonna say, we got a little foretaste of something wrong with Lazarus also.
Yes.
Yeah, I was
Right,
like,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
no,
I saw
Lazarus is
that.
going down.
Well, and Jesus saw it too, and you know,
Yes.
and it flashed across his face, you know.
I thought that when he stepped away to meet up with Mary, Lazarus was gonna die.
Oh,
Oh. Well, that would be a deviation from the story as we
Yeah.
have it.
Yes.
Yeah,
But the little interaction between Jesus and Lazarus at the very beginning was a nice little
Oh, yeah.
theatrical.
that was
Yeah.
Two buddies, two real buddies
Exactly.
Yeah.
each other as you would. It was
They
wonderful.
haven't seen each other for a while. Yeah, and they gotta
well, and
pick
it
on
also
each other.
emphasizes Jesus' humanity,
Sure.
which is part of what I really love. Also, with that conversation with his mom.
Yeah, I really like the conversation with his mom, and it for me, like, of course God knows us because that's our creator, but to watch Jesus like reflect on how dense we are, I don't know, like how human we are, that was cool to watch.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And his mother telling him he's human too.
Yeah, she was like, don't forget.
Well, and also her illustration to him about how his father taught him to do a
Right.
dovetail joint. You
And
know, because it is true, Christ spoke in a lot of parables, which was done at that time, but sometimes they really are hard to. You got to really go through it, you know, at some of them to really understand what he meant. Particularly, you think in the first century, totally foreign. You
It
know?
reminded me of when I was a camp counselor, like you walk in the front and all the people trail behind you, and you're trying to teach them things quickly in a week. And it's like, we're working on kindness. Let's keep working on that, you know. And he was just like, every time I think they got it, they don't got it. And he said, I told them point blank what's gonna happen, and still.
They didn't hear it.
Can't hear it yet.
But I really liked the way the interchange with Mary and Martha, while Martha was serving and Mary was listening. And, you know, that's a struggle most women have. How much do you serve and how much do you just sit down and listen? I like the way he taught that. And I like the way they got up and helped each other in the end.
Well, and I know exactly how Martha felt. I've done that so many times.
Mm-hmm.
Been the one
She
serving
gives her sister.
without a chance to sit down.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
like,
folks, I am going to drop off, but you are welcome to keep going. I've got another Zoom call, which is exciting for choir.
right. Wow, that's
Well, we
late.
got a game to watch, so shut it down.
All right,
Only
bye-bye,
if it goes
guys.
well for the red guys.
No, blue.
No, red.
We're talking blue. And not Duke blue.
Have
Thanks
a
for
good
joining,
night.
everyone. Have a great night.
Good night.